Hey, Ellen.
What, Chris?
This is kind of nice, isn't it?
Yeah, I can handle this.
Yeah, but, you know, we are at a trial and we've still got to get out there and cover this thing.
Oh, that's right. This is not your backyard.
This is not a resort. This is a Proven Winners trial at Euro American Propagators in Bonsall. And, yeah, that was comfortable. The sun is beautiful.
Oh, gorgeous.
It's near the end of trials, and to be honest, this is a grueling trip. We've driven just about 1,000 miles, covered 16 or 17 locations, probably 40 or 45 companies. I've pretty much lost count, but we're wrapping up here on Thursday, which is day 7 for us. And as I said, it's Proven Winners, which is one of the nicest trials out here.
Beautiful
Not enormous,
landscaping,
but some really good varieties, and we're going to head inside to see them right now.
Let's do that.
The first thing that you see here at the Proven Winners display is, well, it's the 20th anniversary in 2012.
Happy anniversary.
Absolutely. And what they showed here is their top 30 varieties, and it's a good illustration of how consistent their message has been and how good their genetics have been all along. This variety right here, Butterfly Argyranthemum, the very first Proven Winners 20 years ago, and it's still in, it's number 13
of their top 30.
Of the top 30. So that's
Amazing.
Pretty cool. And then again, you get some really new genetics, you know, a year old,
on up.
that are also in there. So congratulations for that. They also were working with just a few breeders. I think John Gato said 4 when he came on board. 60 different breeders now here represented at Proven Winners. And we're going to go around the corner, find some annuals, and see what they've got new. Hey, look at there, Ellen. Jen has found the first and maybe most important, and certainly the most striking new introduction here at Proven Winners. This one is called Lemon Slice. It's a Superbells Calibrachoa, and that is not only a slice of lemon, it's a slice of heaven, I think. Amazing, very stable color, they say. It was actually a sport of Superbells Yellow, and it was found in Japan. It's disease resistant. It's got nice dark foliage, so if you do have pH issues, they're not going to show up as noticeably or as readily.
Stay on top of the plant.
Right. John Gato said it's got kind of a broad-shouldered habit, if you're curious how it's going to grow. But that's Superbells Lemon Slice. And right next to it here, okay, wait, can't show you. Americans, tune out. This is not for you. This is for the Canadians in the crowd, eh? This one, sorry about that. This is Superbells Doubles. Which are not available in the U.S. That's Double Plum you're looking at back here, which is brand new. And there's 3 others in the series, Canadian exclusives, but that's some double Superbells. Ellen, what you got there?
This is Cleome, Senorita, Blanca. Now last year they introduced Rosalita, Senorita Rosalita. This is just a tad bit blusher, and it's quite a nice plant.
You know Blue Days, which is Evolvulus? This is one called Blew My Mind. It's a nice selection, some nice breeding work to make much better Blue Days, more compact. It'll still take lots of heat, and it's very early. And I think it would be a perfect companion plant with this next one over here.
That's right.
Luscious Lantana.
2 new colors. We've got Pina Colada, and over here, Berry Blend. This one is a little bit more open and airy than Pina Colada.
Which is a reminder, John Gato said they don't do series here at Proven Winners, they do collections. So don't expect all similar habits. Look at this up here. That is just absolutely gorgeous. So that's like a heat lover summer southern plant for something going a little bit the other direction, although it'll still take the heat. How about Lobularia? This is a new one called Blushing Princess, which goes very nicely with Snow Princess, the one they introduced, was that last year or 2 years ago? A couple of years. Fairly recently. You can see that there's a different color to it, but the key is it's not quite the same. It's, I think, maybe 70% the size and vigor.
Right, 50 to 70.
Of Snow Princess.
The more direct light, the more purple it is.
There you go. Now, look down here, Jen. It's hard to notice that this one's different. This is one called Frosty Night. Dig the variegated foliage that you've got in here. This one's about half the size or so of Snow Princess. So let's get into something more colorful than just those white and pale pink flowers. How about this puppy, Picasso in pink?
Let's compare it to
what could it compare to other than
compare to this? That's pretty much Picasso.
So there you see the difference. Picasso in pink has less green, and it's more of a pink color than a rose color. And another thing is the habit. Zoom back, Jen, and get this basket up here. This gives you a good idea. Picasso in pink is a more mounded habit with the flowers right on the surface of the plant, whereas pretty much Picasso, which everybody seems to pretty much know these days, is a little bit looser habit with the flowers more up and down in the plant. There's a whirlwind white improved, but I wanted to get over here because here's some cool names for some cool Coleus. This is Colorblaze.
Keystone Kopper.
Keystone Kopper.
Both with K's.
Like clown car. That is a really great color for any time of year. I think it would go extra great in fall containers.
And a nice upright growth to it.
Yeah, and then right next to it, a very dark one called
Marooned.
Another clever name. This one, the more light you grow it in, Ellen, the darker the foliage will be. If you put it in shade, it'll be a little bit more green. And then let's wrap up here with some new Superbena Verbenas.
Royale Silverdust. Dark green leaves on that one. Smaller foliage, and the flowers are more in clusters.
It grows pretty much similarly to chambray, which they introduced.
Oh, and it's
recently.
sweetly fragrant.
Give it a sniff.
I smell it, definitely.
If you're tired of annuals, how about some perennials?
Perennials.
And Proven Winners has them thanks to the partnership that they formed last July with
Walter's Gardens.
And Walter's Gardens has 4 perennial breeders on staff, so they've got some good stuff coming out of their own, own lab there. And one of the 8 new introductions is a Dianthus series called Fruit Punch. Describe these, Ellen.
Well, they're fragrant, as a lot of Dianthus are, but they are double and they are intricately patterned.
And we've got 4 colors: black, cherry, wild. That's apple slices that you're looking at there. This one down here is Pomegranate Punch. We've seen a lot of pomegranates this year.
That's right.
Lastly, Coconut Punch. The 2 in the back, a little bit taller, maybe a foot in the landscape, and the 2 up here tend to be a little bit more compact, about
6 to 8 inches.
6 to 8 inches. So that's that. If you want something really, well, I would say really big, not as big, this is a Ligularia, this is a Ligularia, thanks, called Bottle Rocket.
And it's about 2/3 of the height of Little Rocket. So
which is funny. So you gotta remember, Little Rocket is bigger than Bottle Rocket. Zones 4 to 9 perennial, great for the shade and bog areas.
And as you can see on the tag, it's got that mustard yellow flower.
Right.
But it's really for foliage. And
Now,
it's terrific foliage too.
That's for a bog plant. What about a dry spot in the sun? How about Sedum? And there's a new one here called Pure Joy, which is out of some breeding work from Autumn Joy.
Nice as a border plant and for containers.
Because this is going to stay fairly small, maybe 10 to 12 inches.
Yeah.
But really durable zones.
And a nice
3 to 9.
lavender pink color in the fall.
And speaking of lavender pink, or maybe something really bright purple colored, this is a cleverly named Monarda called Pardon My Purple. That's a lot of fun. And back here, just opening up for us, this is Pardon My Pink. And it's a compact, they said compact but vigorous variety, and it is mildew tolerant. So that's some new perennials out of the Walter's Gardens program here at Proven Winners.